Disappointing night, Bobby.
Yeah, really disappointing state, to be honest. Wasn't expecting it. I'll be honest, I expected Hereford to come like that because they have to. They're fighting for their lives in the league. Um, but we didn't get anywhere near them intensity levels first half. Was it a game too much? It looks like that, doesn't it? And I hate making that as an excuse, but we just couldn't get that energy up to what we did first half on Monday. Second half we had a goal, um, but yeah, it was a flat disappointing night tonight for sure.
Did it feel like a team who was sitting mid-table against a team who were fighting for their lives? Obviously, playoffs are there, but it's quite a difficult task given the games in hand and the position that you're in.
100%, and you know you've got to have a mentality to go and beat teams, especially at home. And the only way to beat them is to get your running power and your intensity up. Because if you do that, you get yourself in the game, and then your technical players then get in the pockets and you start playing. We never done that first half. We didn't get in the game. The game was never in our control first half. Second half it was, but we huffed and puffed, and if you don't get bodies in the box to score, or when I say bodies, the bodies are there, but you've got to make movement, you've got to stay centre of goal, the tap-ins, the absolute tap-ins, and yeah, okay, their keeper's made a couple of decent saves, we've had a couple of half chances, but there weren't that belief tonight that we were going to score. You could see it, and I know my players, and that's the disappointing side of it, but I can't criticise what they've done. But now we'll have a couple of days rest, and we'll go to Darlington, and it's, as I've said, this league's relentless, and you'll go to Darlington, and another tough test, but we're good enough to go there and get a result.
And you talk about the chances there. When we spoke on Friday, you mentioned about how many chances you have had in those 3 games and possibly 4 now. And you had to score, probably lacking cutting edge in the first half and then even in the second half, like you say, had the chance there, but it's always been the story of the season where not the first time or second time them balls have flashed across the box. There's just not been many plays there all season.
Yeah, I totally agree, and it's been the story of I look at some teams who get 1 or 2 chances in the ball hits the net. We create 6, 7, 8 chances, and we take one, or we take two, or we take none. Especially in the last 4 games, 5 games, 4 games. So, if you don't take your chances, you don't win football matches. They've had one full chance, if you like, and the kids buried it, Mikey. So, you know, that's the frustration side, because I stand there and I think, I would have tapped 1 or 2 of them in, and I can't move no more. But I'm stood on the side thinking that's a goal. It's a goal, and you don't need to be quick. It's just about you being in the right place. The balls are flying across the box, and we're just not there to put them in the net.
And I don't want to focus too much on decisions, but I suppose with the first goal, there was some arguments of a high foot, and a few minutes earlier, there was a high foot. Is that maybe adds a twinge of frustration, or do you feel like you were second best on a night and you can't really point too many fingers?
No, listen, we were second best in terms of the first half. Second half, there was only one team in it. We were counting their half. But some of the decisions, their goal comes from their player has booted my player in the head. He hasn't got the ball. He's kicked his head. It's a foul. He doesn't give it, but he gave us nothing all night. He was that type of person. You couldn't speak to them. Some of the decisions they made, well, every decision they made, it was absolutely comical. It was comical, and I'll be dead honest, in 20 years, I've never seen officials perform like that at any level, even Sunday League. I haven't seen it, so, I hope they get looked at. I hope they get assessed, because anyone who does the job properly will know that was a shambles.
There's a brief stoppage in that first half, and many people in the crowd, or most of the sides of the ground, didn't really have a clue what was going on. The referee spoke to you, spoke to the stewards. What was he saying?
He come over and said it was a racial gesture, I think. But there's not one person at this football club, since I've been here in 3 years, fans or players, that would even entertain that. And I think what they did shout was something along the lines of the man in the black, which was the referee in the black kit. That's what I heard. That's what their bench heard. So I think, again, I might be wrong. So you'd have to ask the referee, but I didn't hear any any racial abuse shout and needed it their bench. But the referee decided to make whatever he made of it. But that was him all night.
And 5 games to go, I think. What's the prospects now? Just pick yourself up and go again?
Yeah, of course. You know, we've got 5 games to go now. I've just said to the lads, now you've got 3 hits. Go and enjoy it. Go and play. Go and do what you need to do. There's no pressure on you now. You need a few miracles, if you like, if you're going to get there, which means we probably need to win all 5 of our games if we've got any hope of getting into them playoffs, and results have to go for us. So it's a massive ask. So the challenge now is to recover and go and try and put 3 points on the board away at Darlington. If we can do that, then it'll be a good boost for us.
And 500 minutes of football left. Obviously, probably have more time to reflect on it, but now we sit here, not all doom and gloom, but still stuff to play for. How do you reflect on this season?
Season's been outstanding, Steve. You know, what them lads have produced. Listen, the squads we've had, the bare bones we've been down to, the injuries we've been dealt have been absolutely, it's never been heard of. Well, I've never seen it. The amount of injuries, the key players, you know, we're talking 7 and 8, and they're all like 5 months, 6 months, 9 months, some a year. So, you know, that plays a part. But again, we'll sit down after the next 5 games and we'll see what the future holds.
Have you managed to look ahead to the next season? Where do you stand? What's your feelings looking into next season?
I haven't, Steve, no. I haven't spoke to anybody at the football club. So, you know, whatever happens next season, that's up to the people above me. But what we have done, we've put Marine in an unbelievable position. And, you know, moving forward, if I'm in charge of this football club moving forward, the ambition goes even higher. Because that's what the fans want, that's what the players want, that's what the staff want. So, yeah, we'll sit down, we'll have some important conversations and we'll move forward.
What appetite does a season like this give you to stay in the helm and go next season? Because this season probably the second season syndrome, which probably thrown out and you've blown out the water type of thing.
Yeah, I love it because I know how good I am at doing my job and I understand football, and that's not me being, that's a belief in myself. I've been in the game since I was 16 years of age and I understand the game, and I've got unbelievable amounts of energy for the game and for my job and for this football club. So, you know, next season, this season, second season syndrome, I don't believe in anything like that. I really don't. I haven't believed in all my career. But what I do believe is if we can keep the majority of this squad, and we can add 2 or 3 bits of quality, then we've got a right chance.
Cheers, mate.